Hello, everybody. Just getting technical things sorted out, but nice to have you along. This is, of course, South African Baseball's live show, where every week we take a look at what is happening in baseball in South Africa. So, interesting show for you tonight. We're very excited to be taking a look at what is happening with baseball currently in Cape Town. And to talk to us more about that, we've got National Baseball legend Dayle Feldtman on with us tonight. And of course, we're going to be taking a look at the Inner City Champs that is coming up in Gauteng. This is Baseball 5 Inner City Champs. But let me say hello to the guys. They are, of course, online with us at the moment. Dayle, hello. How are you?
Are you JP?
No, all good. Not too bad, but nice to see you again.
Yes, it's been a while.
Yes, and Jason Bell. Jason, fantastic to see you also in the studio with us. Jason looks...
Jeffy. Thanks.
There we go. We're just waiting for Jason's... there we go, Jason. You're kind of getting a little bit stuck there. Dayle, Jason... well, first of all, let's start with Jason. Dayle, you've been in the news enough. So, Jason, first of all, congratulations on your performance and recognition at the recent World Cup for Baseball Fives in Mexico. Well, looks like we're going to have to come back to Jason. Oh, there we go. Jason's
Thanks
back.
so much.
All right, we're just waiting for
It was
that
a fantastic
picture. Jason, you're just a little bit frozen there. I'm going to see if we can come back to you. We'll just wait for the Wi-Fi speed. But Dayle, let's go to you in the meantime.
Yes.
Well, first of all, have you settled in now since Germany? Are you guys all back to your clubs?
Yes, everyone's back to clubs and training hard, and obviously everyone's feeling like me at the moment, missing a bit of trainings with peak season of work, but
Yeah.
it's the obstacles that we face.
Now let's just have a look and see if we've got Jason's signal back there now. Jason, are you back with us? Seems just a little bit frozen there. All right, folks, talk to you since that. I mean, you were the big ball cruncher at the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a blur that moment that I had. Everyone was, how was it? I really can't tell you. It was as everything just hit a blank, and I watched the video. I'm not going to lie, the video's on 1 million hits. I probably watched it most of the time.
It was. I mean, I was lucky enough to be there with you, and I kind of got the feeling at the time when we were, as we were there, because I had managed to spend quite a bit of time with you guys in the build-up to preparation, behind the scenes, and I think when you smashed that ball, I had these flashbacks of every ball that you had crunched in the cages at Athlone and Boerissa.
When you were hiding behind chairs and wearing a mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, a funny story about that home run actually is nobody knows. I spoke to Jared Alari before the game, and I said to him, I had a dream last night that I'm going to hit this lefty over the flags. And that is something, like, he came to me afterwards, he's like, he's got goosebumps, because like I said, that's exactly what I said to him. And he was like, how did you know that's going to happen? I said, that was the dream I had last night.
Well, I think there's a little bit of sports psychology in that story that's probably worth telling, and I'm sure that the kids that are watching right now would love to hear from you. We're going to talk to you about that in a second. Jason Bell is back with us, everybody. Jason, right, we see you're back with us. Hopefully the signal's a bit more stable there now. As I was saying, congratulations on your performance in Mexico at the World Cup, and of course all the recognition that you got there.
Thanks so much. It was a fantastic opportunity, and to involve in prestigious event, being the first Baseball 5. The team at wbsc put together a great tournament. It was run from day 1, day 7. I think everyone really enjoyed it, and the SA team themselves can attest to the magnitude of the event.
Yeah, Jason. I mean, we were lucky to watch it on the live stream, and I mean that opening ceremony was just unbelievable.
Yeah, that really something else. I mean, to reiterate or steal away from Dayle, we all had goosebumps sitting in the stands there. I think we were more in awe than someone. It was really a spectacular sight.
Yeah, well, Dayle, did you manage to watch any of the baseball fives? How that's going?
Me, no, never. With the time difference and work and stuff, unfortunately, I watched the highlights. I got to watch some of the highlights.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a sport for me. I don't have the speed that those guys have.
Well, I think Jason, if I'm right to say, the part of that concept of baseball fives is to get the entry into baseball and eventually become a player like Dayle.
For sure, and we're definitely looking at utilizing it as a tool, a key tool in a baseball players. And even if it isn't, even if you aren't a player, the inclusive and accessible nature of baseball really makes it a great step into baseball.
Dayle, let's go to you there for a little bit. All right, so I think one of the big things that we noticed is when you guys came back from the classic, it was a couple of days before you all went back to your own clubs. I think yourself and, well, we're not so sure yet about Kyle Botha if he's actually ever going to make an official announcement. It seems that those announcements stay within the club structures, but we'll wait. We'll wait to make that announcement. But you and Kyle and a few of the other players, you went straight back to Bodasig. Jonathan Phillips went back to Bellville. I think, so you've got quite a wide spread there, and immediately you guys went kind of like into a competition zone. I mean, it's quite incredible watching you guys go head to head.
Yeah, it is one of the craziest things. You were teammates and for 7 months, and then the first week you play against each other, and that teammate is now on the opposing team, and it's just great that we can show professionalism in that we can turn the switch and become opponents. And if I have to slide Jonathan out the way, that's going to happen. He's going to slide me out the way. He's going to do it.
Is that it? It's battle. It's war.
And that's what it is. And after the game, then we all good and friends again. Speak to most of the guys every week anyway, even though we're not on the same team. Phone calls, messages. So it's been great.
All right, so we're just going to take a little look here, Jason, before we come back. A couple of folks that have joined us online, and we're happy to say Nikki Adonis has joined us. Says good evening. Americo Juma has joined us. Also says good evening. Looks like everybody's got the same greeting tonight. Clifton Barnes in the Free State. Good evening. Rian Versveld. Hello, Rian. We're not sure where you are, but hello to you, and thanks for joining us as well. Courtney Strauss is currently in Cape Town. We know that Courtney in Cape Town has got the junior girls at Athlone tomorrow. So Courtney has just come out of a woman in baseball presentation. So great to see Courtney online. And Renee Barties has joined us and says, good evening, everyone from Mandela Bay. And for those of you that don't know, Renee is, of course, I think, mom of Aiden Barties, who has been on the show with us, and Jason, of course, you'll know Aiden well.
Yes, very much so. I got the pleasure to experience both the Tanzania African qualifiers and Mexico champs with Aiden. Even got to spend some time with Renee in Tanzania.
Right, so you know the family, but Dayle, I mean, Dayle, you know, and then I've got to say, folks, Paddy van der Kerk, Vice President of South African Baseball, is also watching the stream right now. We're of course hoping to get him and President Mark Moreau on with us tonight, but we know Paddy has been busy with the women's workshop, and of course President Moreau is currently he's got his hands full at the moment. But for those of you that are watching, we are hoping to get him in studio with us as soon as possible, because we're going to be talking to Mark about what we call now the Dominican connection. And for those of you that are not aware, President Mark Moreau, South African President Baseball, recently returned from the Dominican Republic, where there was a memorandum agreement signed between South Africa and the Dominican Republic, which took months of work and preparation from the various ministries. And in fact, we have Hector Polino watching us, and I'm assuming, if my Spanish is right here, that he's saying hello, because he says Saludo desto Republico Dominico Dodo. Okay, so Hector, not sure what that means, but I'm hoping that I said it right, and I'm assuming that it's a greeting. So if you're coming to us watching us from the Dominican Republic, well, we send our very best of greetings, and we're all working on our Spanish. But yes, folks, an incredible announcement there, fantastic stuff that's going to see international relations between South Africa and the Dominican Republic. And for those of you that are not aware, go and do a little bit of homework. The Dominican Republic is absolutely flooding Major League Baseball with participation numbers. I think more than 10% of the players who play Major League Baseball in America come from the Dominican Republic. So it's unbelievable in terms of what the guys are doing there. And well done to President Moreau for putting it together. Dayle, is that something that must be something that you guys would really excite you, is from a player point of view, the opportunity to interact with at that level?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I mean, we still don't know what the bigger picture is, and I'm sure we will find out. But yeah, for the players that have come out of the Dominican Republic, it is just phenomenal that we possibly get the opportunity to produce our own players of that caliber.
Jason, also, I mean, you guys have also had quite a lot of that side of the world connection during the Baseball Fives. I mean, Cuba particularly making a name for themselves in that space.
Very much so. I mean, Cuba, the level was, I mean, it's sad to say this being a South African, but the level of Baseball 5 was just so vast. Cuba was ahead of everyone by a massive margin. It's a testament to their baseball skill and their baseball heritage. I think it's something that we can all aspire to achieve, particularly. I think there's no can't be there in a few years.
All right, guys, I've just got to point out one or two things. Yeah, sorry, Jason, we're going to come back to you. Jonathan Yun wants to know, is this the first time Dayle has no dip in his mouth? Yeah, so John, you guys can sort Dayle, you guys can sort out that out at the NBC when you guys see each other. But yes, and then Rian van Jaarsveld, at least Rian Versveld, thanks Rian, gives us a translation there. It says, with a big smiley face, he said that greetings from the Dominican Republic. But we're of course looking forward to getting President Moreau on the show with us, and then of course we'll get some folks from the Dominican Republic also in the studio with us, where we can do some live crossings. Jason, talking about Baseball Fives, you guys have got a huge event coming up in the next couple of, well, I think, is it on the 18th of February, the Inner City Championships?
Yes, that's correct. And we're very excited to be hosting this Inner City Championships as our first official outdoor Baseball 5 event. We're going to be hosting at the Eastern Fields in Pretoria.
At Eastland, right?
Yes, we're looking at a mixed gender competition.
Yeah.
Trying to attract teams from the under 12 and under 15 age groups. At this stage, we're looking to hopefully get around 12 teams. The invite is always open to more teams. Anyone wants to put some teams together. It just helps grow the community and try and grow the game. So at the moment, we're going to send invites out to teams from the Alexandra Township, Actonville, Edridgeville, of course Eastland, and then Takoza as well.
So is it open? I mean, are you open for more teams to join?
Of course. I mean, I think at this stage, we love to have just as wide and as broad as we can achieve.
That's of course the beauty of Baseball Fives. It's a shorter game. There's less people on the team. Anybody can enter, and you can play it everywhere.
Of course, I mean, the accessible nature of the sport really lends itself to any kind of athlete. You know, you don't have to have any intimate knowledge of baseball and softball, the rules are such that it's very simple to pick up. You need basic hand-eye coordination, some speed, some agility, and we can turn into baseball 5 play for sure.
How hard is it for you? I mean, you're a World Cup official. You're at the highest level already with baseball 5s. You've officiated at the Africa Championships, where of course South Africa walked away as the champions of Africa, and then you officiated at the inaugural World Cup in Mexico. But how difficult is it? I mean, baseball, being a baseball official is not an easy job. You really have to know what you're doing. How tough was that for you?
I mean, for me, baseball's been a part of my life for near on 25 years. So the switch decision was relatively painless. I've got a passion for the game, people in our community do, and I'm saying I'm pretty baseball as well. So which was easy. It's a lot less to worry about. Fans complaining about balls and strikes, which is change of pace for me particularly. But then they want to fight.
Jason, unfortunately, just breaking up a little bit there.
Toes and lines, etc. So
yeah,
adds activities.
Yeah, we're just losing you a little bit there, Jason. There you. I think you're back now. But you say you made a reasonably easy transition there.
Okay. Yes, yeah. I mean, it's really, really straightforward, which is what you.
A little bit scratchy. Let's go back, Dayle. Let's go back to you now. All right, so you guys came back from the World Baseball Classic in Germany. All the guys back to their various clubs. At the moment, we're seeing sort of activity in, of course, in the Eastern Cape. Gauteng is busy. We're going to, in fact, folks, we're hoping to get Jono Viljoen, who's on the chat at the moment. We're hoping to get Jono on the show with us next week so that we can find out what is happening in the Eastern Cape. We know that Mandela Bay and Londpark and the guys are busy, so we'll get some more information on that. But Dayle, it was a few weeks ago that I went around to Athlone A's. Athlone was playing against Belleville Tigers at the time, and I think Athlone were looking like they were going to take the game, and it turned at the last corner, and basically I think Tigers managed to get it. And this after that, I was told that, okay, it's now between Bodisig and Tigers, and that the league looks like it was going to be almost over. It doesn't look like it turned out that way.
No, I don't know who told you that information. But
well, I think Tigers had to win one more game.
Yeah, so like I said, we entering our last round. This week is the start of the third round. And Belleville, Athlone and Bodisig are all tied on the same amount of points. I think that's the first time in, as far as I'm aware, probably in over 10 years, that there's been three teams tied on the top. For the last 8, it's been Bodisig and Belleville have been battling it out, and now it's nice to have Athlone. Athlone's got a very nice young team.
Just for clarity, you're playing for Bodisig, right?
That's correct, yes.
Right, okay. We just want to know.
Yeah, no, I'm just the honest baseball guy, and they got a very nice young team. And we actually played them on Saturday, and we lost 7-6, unfortunately, but it was a very good game of baseball, and that's nice.
How do you feel about the standard? I mean, it does look like all this World Cup experience is coming back to the clubs now.
Yes, I mean, to me that's the key. When our seniors players go away, come back and feed your juniors, number one, and then feed your teammates. Just on those little things that you pick up. I mean, I've learned a massive amount at this last Classics. Experience-wise, you think you know everything, and boom, and then you get taught another 15 new things in 3 days. And it's just a game that you can never get comfortable with because you're just going to keep learning.
Let's go back to let's bring Jason into the conversation now. Jason, we're hoping that we've got a little bit more stability there. Jason, the guys are going. They're going hammer and tongs at each other down here in Cape Town. Have you got any advice? We've got Bodasach and Bellville and Athlone going head to head, and you as an official, what would you advise? Is there a secret?
I think in the spirit of the game, I'd say let's have some good baseball. I don't really have any allegiances to any of those clubs, so I think Cape Town's proved for a long time that they have a great baseball structure. They always used to bring numerous teams to our wbsc. They all compete and they all have passion and heart to play the game, and I think that's all we care about. As officials and as people intimately involved in the running of a baseball match, we want to just see people there all and want to almost wasting our time with people who don't have any heart. That's something that isn't lacking in Cape Town for sure.
Jason, I think from our side we're going to I'm going to carry on the conversation with Dayle now. If we can sort of wrap it up from our perspective, Jason. So just to be clear, 18th of February is the big day. Entries are still open. I'm assuming that if folks want to get entered in, do they go to Gauteng Baseball, or how do folks join to enter at Baseball 5 teams with you? I know that also at the moment there's national registrations flying around to become and register with Baseball South Africa. But if anybody wants to now, they're watching you here and they want to enter a team, how do they do that?
They can contact me. I can provide my email and cell phone number. I think that's the easiest. I'm pretty much heading up Baseball 5 Gauteng, so I'll be the point person for this event. We've been lucky enough to be working with Americo as well, who's driving it. So I think, if people entering teams, don't hesitate to call.
Okay. We'll also put that, make sure that that's up on the South African Baseball website. That'll might also help with folks just entering the competition. There'll be a little form there that can go directly to you. So, Jason, we'll say good night to you for now, and while we're hoping to then catch up with you again soon. Again, fantastic job with the Baseball 5 stuff. It's really very exciting. I know that you and Americo Juma and Haley Scott are really driving it, and can't wait to see what comes then from the. Sorry, just a last question, Jason. The Inner City Champs. Have you got any sort of? I know you're an official, so you can't really make any calls. But are there any teams there that we're thinking might shine? Who's going to dominate this competition?
I've got to keep a bit of a.
You got to stay. Okay.
I got to stay neutral. Yeah, I think. I mean, we're just seeing what the competition holds. I'm willing and waiting to be surprised.
Well, we'll leave it at that, and we'll say good night, Jason. And we're hoping then to catch up with you again soon.
Thanks, JP.
There we go, folks. Jason Bowles, of course, officiating at a very senior level. Dayle, let's go back to you now. So, Bodasach, Bellville, Athlone, how's Helderberg doing? Pirates?
They're doing well. Chalmers, I'm sure Chalmers has inputted a lot of what he learned abroad. It was Chalmers' first tournament for the national team, and with the coaches that he had, I saw he spent a lot of time, and I'm sure he took everything in, and he took it back to his club.
Well, I asked him on tour. John O'Fallon on the chat here says, if Dayle, if you're looking for your home run ball from Germany, it landed in his bri. So it's all happening now. But to come back to, I remember asking Chalmers on tour if they're using a pitching machine at Pirates, and he said no. Well, he is the pitching machine. So that's the I suppose the.
Yeah. They built very nice new cages. They built there with some lights and that. So hopefully Chalmers isn't doing all the throwing, but they're definitely getting that extra hitting in with those nice new cages they built.
So it was just a few weeks ago that at Batswood and VOB McCaws, I saw you there, where there was the Inter-District Championships. Dayle, I mean, you obviously you had your hands full there on the day as a coach. You're not only playing, you were coaching. Looking at the talent that's coming through there, looking at the baseball that you saw on the day, I mean, VOB's facilities were just looking amazing. What was your feeling if you had to take your player's cap off and put your coach's cap on?
Yeah, the coach's standard is nice. I mean, I enjoy the coaching, like I really do, and that's why I do it. I give up the extra time and help the kids. But I say the standard of baseball, Winelands has, since I played them the last time, they've improved in leaps and bounds since the last time we played juniors. Because when we played juniors, I mean, our scores against Winelands 15-20-0, and now they're competing with us. I think that we beat them 8-2 and 7-3 or something like that, and so they're competing, and it's nice to see.
Yeah. So you're going into the third round now at CTBF. How does this work for you guys now from a league perspective? Is there still a chance, even though those three teams are joint tied, is there still a chance for other teams to squeeze into the finals or win the league?
No, I think it's just the three of us now. I haven't looked at the logs, but I think the gap between 3 and 4 is too big for anyone else to join the mix. I could be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, that's how it is. And then, yeah, and like I said, the three of us, we must all play each other again, one more time, one more big battle. And like I said, we start this weekend at home against VOB. So have a nice home game against VOB.
Bodasag playing VOB at home at Bodasag.
At Bodasag.
All right.
Bodasag against VOB at Bodasag. Second side starts at 1 and the first team starts at 3:45.
All right, so it's a little bit earlier than normal, is it? Or a little bit later?
Yeah, and then the kids are in the morning. The kids start from 8 o'clock, the first set of games, and then 10 o'clock.
Yeah. All right, folks. So if you are watching, find yourself a baseball club near you to go and watch this weekend. Keep watching out. Oh, you guys starting to get an eye yet, Dayle, on the NBC Cardinals Boxburg happening this year, starting on the 1st of April?
Yes, we're waiting patiently for the teams to be announced. I've got guys messaging me, in the team. I've got no idea when the team's coming out, and I've got no idea who's in it. So we're excited to see who's going.
Yeah, well, the sort of the rule of thumb with baseball is don't tell anyone your team until the last minutes because of the scouting. So, we don't like that approach because we want to be able to tell the world that who the team is and so on. But we understand that this is a high performance game.
Keep it under the
radar. Yeah. Well, in the media space, I'd rather put it in the radar, deal with it. But this is of course the things. But Dayle, it's been fantastic chatting with you. I mean, I can't wait to see you guys on the park and some of the fantastic stuff that's happening. And just on a more personal note, to you and Jono and Kyle, Darren, the guys that we had the opportunity with, and I know we're going to see you in the next couple of days back on the podcast. But if I go back to the Bodasag where you guys did the meet and greet, in case no one has said this to you, you guys are incredible ambassadors for baseball for South Africa, and what you guys did for South Africa, for the country in Germany, was actually incredible. And I think that I hope you guys take that home with you, and that everybody at your clubs and everyone is celebrating the fantastic stuff that you guys do.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having me. And are you going to be at NBC?
I will definitely be at the NBC, and I'll be looking to see if Dayle Feldtman smashes another homer over the park and lands in Jonathan Fillion's bride.
Thank you for having me, JP.
Great stuff, Dayle. There we go. Looking forward to catching up again soon. And yeah, good luck for this weekend. It's gonna be a tough one. Bellville, Bodasag, Athlone, all going head to head. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
There we go, folks. Dayle Feldtman, National Baseball, the player, of course, playing at Boudewijn, and Jason Bell, Baseball 5's legend, has made a real name for himself in the Baseball 5 structure, officiating at in Mexico and, of course, in Tanzania at the Africa Championships. And, of course, then it's the Inner City Champs coming up on the 18th of February. Applications are open. Baseball 5 only needs 5 players on a side. It's a short game, so if you're out there, you're watching, go and enter a team at the Inner City Champs in Eastland. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. Jason and his Americo Juma and his team, that you guys are they're going to have their hands full, because certainly it looks like Baseball 5 is probably South Africa's fastest growing sport. Folks, we'll leave it at that. Look out for our podcast that we do soon with South African baseball president Mark Moreau, where we find out from him a little bit more about the Dominican connection and the interaction between South Africa and the Dominican Republic, and look to see what opportunities are going to come for players, coaches, administrators. And if you go to our website, southafricanbaseball.co.za or sabaseball.co.za, go and take a look. There's a memorandum of understanding between the two countries on the website that you can read, or at least an article. And it's going to be absolutely incredible. We can't wait to speak to him. The stories that we're getting back of the trip to the Dominican Republic are just mind-blowing. And he will tell us more about the facilities, the interaction, and the possibilities and futures of the relationship between baseball South Africa and baseball in the Dominican Republic. Can't wait for that. But we'll leave it at that, and we'll say to all of you good night. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Keep sending your messages. We look forward to talking to you more about baseball. Bye-bye.